So, a friend of mine was talking to me, and I was telling her how I'm trying to quit smoking. And I'm having a hard time doing it. And she said, well, are you sure you're addicted to nicotine? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm pretty sure I'm addicted to nicotine. How? I've been smoking since I was 21. So she's like, well, some people who have had parents who've done a lot of drugs in their life, or when they were being in pregnancy and they did a lot of drugs, which happens to happen to me, or happened to me. Basically, when my mother was pregnant, I had a lot of drugs in my system. So, and she's like, they can have a resistance. They can either do one of two things. They can have a resistance to drugs, which I've found I'm more resistant to drugs. I say drugs, but I've only actually ever done a small number of drugs. I tried cocaine. It didn't get me high like everybody else. Everybody else was getting so high, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why can't I get high? Anyways, and then I stopped once I found out how much it was, and I'm like, ha! I've only done that once, and my dad was paying for it, and I'm like, once I found out how much it was, I'm like, nope, I'm done, nope. $80 a line? Nah, shit, man. Anyways, so, and that didn't really work for me. And I've noticed that I'm a very expensive date. Basically, if you take me to a bar, it takes a little bit to get me drunk. Not a lot of guys like that. That's how I found that out. Ow. So anyways, back to what I was saying. She said, well, you can become resistant or you can become dependent on drugs. And with how many stories you've told me, I think you might be resistant to drugs. I don't think you have a nicotine addiction. She said, I think you have a behavioral, and I might be wrong about this, but she says, I think you might be addicted to the behavioral of taking the vape. I'm like, okay, English, please? And she's like, well, and she said, well, what if you're just addicted to because you always say you're not addicted to the nicotine, you're addicted to the flavor. And I'm like, yeah, I do, but I'm pretty sure that was just a lie I told myself. And she's like, no, I think you might be right. I think you were on the right track there. I'm like, okay. And she's like, what if you got a no nicotine vape and you vaped on that for a week? And if you have episodes, because I'm bipolar, I've been very manic bipolar, and I've been having issues with my irritability of late due to not having what I thought was nicotine, what she thinks is just a vape. So I'm going to go to the store and get a non-nicotine vape to see if that's the case and I'm not addicted to nicotine. I guess. Let's try this out.